We've had this conversation a bit. What happened to our boy Nesmith?
Benched.
Gone, right?
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, he'd been the first guy off the bench for weeks now.
Gone. Last 2 games gone. He's out of the rotation. It just happened.
I don't get it. I really don't. Like I get that Jeff T.
He doesn't shoot.
He wasn't great.
He doesn't shoot.
Fired, but he's not. Minus those 2 back-to-back performances where he scored 14 points. I mean, he's been okay, right? I'm not in the camp of bench. You have to bench Teague altogether, but Nesmith has to get his reps in. Like, you have to find minutes for him, and I just don't agree with this. Put him out there for a week and then pull him and then put him back out there and see what he's learned the last. After what's a couple of DNPs going to do to the kid? Like, I don't like this experiment that bracket.
I agree.
We're going to see him right before the All-Star break. You're going to see Nesmith again, and then he's going to go into the All-Star break and come back and being like, where do I stand with this team? And I guess that is part of the rookie experience, especially for someone like him. The ups and downs of the rookie experience. But I just don't get what in the end that's going to do for a team like the Celtics that it's going to need someone like that in the long run.
Yeah, Nesmith wasn't amazing in the recent weeks.
Nope.
He earned it with the scrappiness, with some of the defensive hustle that he showed and rebounding, those type of things. But it wasn't to the point where he was going to be a shoo-in for minutes. Now, I think what you could grapple with is Green versus him. It's probably a similar level of impact between those two right now. Because honestly, if we're talking semi, and I told you guys this a month ago or so, Semi's right around that 40% from 3 mark. And that ended up being the right guy to go to in the crunch time tonight. And, Green defensively, I think, is positionally sound, brings some verticality, some basket threat on offense. John's right. If Nesmith, or Jimmy rather, is right, if he's not going to shoot, if he's not going to be a threat on offense, it's really tough to play him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's killing me. I agree. Jimmy, you can have it back, but I agree that 100%. That's
now they could do things to get him more involved, which we've talked about.
He's acquitting himself fine through hustle and thus not making it so he can earn his time. He's not going out there and playing like a dog, but he's not making the most of his opportunity because he's just not seeking out his shot. He's not moving without the ball. I don't know if that's by design, but he's standing around. Again, I don't know if the offense is stand in the corner to create space. That's all we need you to do, because he doesn't. And then he just doesn't get the ball. We've talked about Brad not running sets for him, but he's not looking for anything. He's not. You look at a guy like Pritchard when he's out there, he's looking for his offense. Nesmith is not looking for his offense.
So don't quote me on this, but didn't very recently, and I don't know if it was on 98.5 or somewhere, Brad specifically mentioned like players can't be watching like guys like Tatum and Brown do everything and expect them to do it all, and they need to go out there and contribute on their own and look for their own shots. I wonder if that was who he was talking about, because Nesmith, I actually, when I heard a quote, something similar, I was like trying to think, oh wait, who could he be talking about? Like, he's not talking about the bigs, he's not talking about, a guy like Teague. I mean, it felt like Nesmith was maybe the guy he was referencing. And when you go back and look at the film, he doesn't shoot the ball. He doesn't look for the shot. They barely even look for him. And we joke about how they look him off and just completely ignore him. Maybe they just don't like playing with this guy, or he's not ready to play at this level. I know that we've gone on the show and say the only way he's going to get better is if he plays, which is true. But I was kind of surprised that he went from not playing to playing like 25 plus minutes. I thought that was a little weird. I don't really like the DNPs, but at the same time, if you have other guys contributing like Green, like Semi, then you're trying to win games at the end of the day. I mean, it's one thing to try to get a guy going, get him acclimated, but it's another thing if he's costing you wins and losses. So I think that he might be one of the players that Stevens may have been referencing when saying that Brown and Tatum are having to do it all out there, and guys are just kind of standing their ground and watching instead of contributing.
No, I'm glad you bring that up. That's something I wanted to talk about on Friday when we talked about a ton of stuff on Friday, but we didn't get to this. John Corrales asked a great question about the ball movement, things that we've talked about, like all the standing in the corner and the lack of motion and cutting and all that stuff. Right. And Brad said, many of our guys' strength, best attributes, scoring with the ball, Kemba, Jaylen, Jason. And then he says, we need a cut. We need to find more creative ways for others to break down the defense off the ball. And then he said, we got to force it. We don't have the best personnel to do it right now, but we have to force it. And I actually thought Nesmith was part of a good unit, the second quarter unit on Friday with Jeff Teague and others that were getting the ball popping, moving, cutting, that kind of stuff. You missed it on Friday. I said a few nice things about Jeff Teague.
Yeah, you missed it, John. I know you enjoyed it.
It wasn't an apology, Cam, but it was a few nice things sprinkled in.
You missed a tough weekend for Bobby.
To the precipice of the apology, Cam. Yeah.
The Brad. You're still on the hook for the Kemba one.
Brad bad, Rob good, Teague good. I can't believe I missed these last two games.
Yeah. Oh, Rob was so good on Friday. But yeah. Is Nesmith part of the solution there, or is he part of the problem in that sense? The standing, the watching. I think Brad's standing,
but again, we don't know. Is he supposed to? I can't believe that's if he's
Brad
doing.
Says he's on the floor for floor spacing. That's what he says.
That's what I mean. And so I understand if it's basically we just want you to hang in the corner. If one of these guys comes down, we'll get you the ball. It never happens. But he does that. He on offense, he comes and he runs to the corner and he stays there for 20 seconds.
I don't have a problem with that, John. Honestly, for 10, 11 minutes, I don't, because you know what? Brad has always talked about how he's adjusting.
Come off the screen, something.
He's adjusting to the NBA speed. So let him adjust, okay? He's not going to adjust sitting on the bench. He's not going to adjust pulling up to practice 2 hours early like he's been doing, and he continues to do that. That's going to help your game. It's going to help you, get time on the floor. But how is he going to adjust to NBA speed?
What if Tatum, what if Brown, what if those guys trust Green, Ojeleye more? It's like Brady and the receivers. I'll pull a John here. Like what if he trusts the Julian Edelman and a Gronk?
I'm not saying play the guy for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like I just don't understand. Again, big picture wise, I feel like this team is going to come down to needing more scoring from the perimeter. Going to come down to
That's why we want the forced minutes.
Yeah. No, Friday was the formula.
Right, I'm with you, Joseph. That's why you want that. Yeah.
Let him adjust.
Friday was a better formula than tonight. Because honestly, Green wasn't that great tonight. I mean, in crunch time, he came up big with the bucket there, which Nesmith probably couldn't have gotten in that spot. But there was room for a few Nesmith minutes here. You're right, Josue.
Well, that's the thing is like Green played 33 minutes. Like, he's just not that type of a play. Like, would Green play 33 minutes on any other team in the NBA? I find it like hard to believe.
Breaking news.
Depends on the week.
Breaking news. Ready?
Yeah.
Daniel Tice just revealed that Romeo is close to returning.
Daniel Tice just revealed that?
He was talking
about Daniel Tice just released. That's what you sounded like.
I was like, wait, what? I'm like, what?
I'm like, okay.
That was a weird verb.
Daniel Tice, I can't wait until after the All-Star break when we hopefully have everything back. I think Smark's coming back. I think Romeo is close. That's the closest we have to a Romeo update. Brad literally forgot his name. It's like Brad
was looking at the team. Was like, did he just say Romeo?
Romeo's like one of those Winter Soldier names for Brad that's going to trigger him into something. Like he's not allowed. No one's allowed to. Like he's not allowed to talk about it. Like he won't give you anything on Romeo. So this is the closest we have to an update.
Romeo's so far away. You see him on the back bench back here. He wears winter gloves in the garden just because he's so far from the court. It's so cold in here. It's the only way you can stay warm.
Who do you think these guys hate more, Romeo or Nesmith? The Celtics, because they clearly don't like those guys.
Probably Nesmith. Seems like
they definitely don't like him, right?
They played. They got Romeo more involved in this. It felt like, and it was close. I mean, they've both been largely uninvolved, but when Romeo was around, he was more involved than when Nesmith's been around. It feels like.
I know.
What happens to Nesmith?
Can't get minutes now.
Who's going to be the chosen one between those two when Langford gets back? I mean, it just adds another layer to this. Brad likes the defense, and Langford's got that.
Well, you said you'd trade him for Barnes, so maybe there's a deal there.
I mentioned this on Friday, John. One Kings writer wrote, all he wants for Barnes is Nesmith. That's it.
What?
Yep.
All you need is Nesmith.
You could clone Nesmith and send 3 of them over there for Barnes, and I would do that.
I was a little hesitant on Friday to say that, to pull that trigger, but I don't know. I guess
Nesmith. Yes, Nesmith is PPE, and you can have a draft pick too.
Now, if he has 15 points in 2 days, he'll be untouchable. That's how it goes around
So
here.
that's what do you, Bobby? You literally said Rob Williams was basically untouchable on Friday.
I still kind of feel that way. Like
John, he
I wouldn't give him
trade
up
Rob
loosely.
Williams. He won't trade. He doesn't
What
want
did
to
we
play
say?
Rob Williams.
What did we
doesn't want to
say?
play Rob Williams. He said he wouldn't include
No.
Rob Williams in a package for Vucevic.
Because that's
Jimmy,
my
you
point. It's a
remember, you
process.
remember
They're
this
working towards
conversation,
something.
right? What did we say? We said this a few weeks ago or months ago. The reason the Celtics at this point have no one of any value. If and when they do get people of value, no one's going to want to trade them anymore.
Heck,
So
Yep, that's exactly what we said.
Williams starts to play like he did on Friday, no one's going to want to include him into a package for Barnes. Now it's going to be like, can we just do Grant and Javonte instead?
Barnes, absolutely. Bobby said he wouldn't include him in a package for Vucevic.
Yeah. So that's what happens is you need these guys to play better to be attractive enough to trade them. But the problem is we fall in love with these guys, or Celtics fans fall in love with these guys, and the second you see flashes, you're like, oh my God, not Rob, you know?
He's part of the future. They're working toward more minutes, more in the season, and then in
guys like that, man, they got to show out in the postseason. Like that's what makes a team say, okay, I like this guy. I want that guy. You know, he can do something here that will really help us. You know, put us at the next level. And until that happens, you know, this upcoming postseason, I'm sure Rob will get plenty of whatever, whether it's playing time, Rob, or whether we get what Jimmy wants, the 20-minute Rob. We're gonna get one or the other, so he's gonna get plenty of exposure.
Unless, like Jimmy said, they initially loved these guys in the draft, any opposing team. It is interesting to think about what the market's going to be like. Like, we all assume it's going to be this tough, but I hear a writer say Nesmith, and that's it. And I'm like, all right, there might be able to play ball a little bit more now.
Does that guy have any followers?
It could be me saying that. I mean, would you believe me
Right.
if I said, "Oh yeah, give me this guy"? Like, who the hell am I?
Did we vet this person, Jimmy?
I believe you. Depends who you spoke to. I'm like, give me your source. Where's your source here?
Literally nobody. It's probably like, who knows? Like, yeah.
Yeah, but
ahead,
Jimmy, you're not going to go on Twitter and be like, oh, if you want Marcus Smart, just give us Okongwu. You know, just give us Kira Lewis, like some guy from the draft last year.
You might, Bobby. You might say something crazy like that.
I don't say crazy things. Come on.
I'm just not going to put any stock into it. I mean, I have no idea who that guy's talked to.
It was one of their bigger writers on. I can't think of them.
Wait a minute, Bobby. You're not doing the another reporter said it, but it's what you think is enough to do. You're not doing that thing, are you?
No. He tweeted. I'll find the tweet for you guys later. I'll tweet it out. Yeah.
But you know what I mean, right, Bobby? Some people do that. Some people is like, I think this might happen, and I don't have a source to say it, but I'm gonna say, oh, I heard from another reporter that is like, wait.
He tweeted this out. I'm gonna go find the tweet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said the tweet. Okay. All right.
Get Drapes.
We should get Drapes on the show. Get his opinion.
What does Draper want for Harrison?
No, I had Drapes on Causeway Street.
Did you ask that question, Josue?
No, yeah. Well, he was the one. Obviously, we talked about TPE options, and he was the one that was like, listen, and I agree with him. What's gonna force Sacramento to do this trade right now? He's got years